person who's not so conscious, they say to me, oh, I do a lot of healthy things. What is it? It's out of a bottle all of the time. We've just popped that balloon. And I hope every man, woman, and child on the planet knows it. In my country alone, it's a $33 billion industry a year now. Of which, if you take out the 92% that are chemicals, and tell people not to take them because it's dangerous for them to take, it wouldn't be anything close to $33 billion as an industry. Here in Canada, it has to be a few $billion a year that you spend. Can you imagine the global? Probably $1 trillion. If you look at global sales and everything that has to do with supplementation and all the enrichment. Now, one of the other lunacies that happened, by the 1940s, there were few people here in your government and our government, because I read a lot about the Canadians, and you had more of an uproar than most countries here when this was all happening. And you know, your group said up here in Ottawa and ours in Washington, some of them, the more ethical ones, wait a minute. If we now, by the way, know that malnourishment of particular nutrients cause scurvy or beriberi or pellagra, these are very commonly well-known diseases of nutritional deficiency. When we make white flour and white bread, we are now literally going to be giving pellagra and scurvy. And so, what did they have as a remedy? Well, the pharmaceuticals came back in again, with the natural segment of the pharmaceutical. We'll enrich your food. God forbid we let you eat whole food. We still want to sell you white flour and white bread and white sugar and pasteurized milk and all of that stuff. But the reality is, we have a remedy. Now you can buy from us the nutrients back that you've taken off from neutering the food. So now, even if you're trying to get away from supplementation, if you don't go out of your way to eat healthy whole food, you're going to get chemical supplements in the food you eat. When I joked before that we even have slip covers that are enriched with vitamin C, it's not too much of an exaggeration. I mean, what can you buy today that doesn't have enriched things in it? Look at the back of most products. It has this in it and that and that. What is that? Craziness. I mean, what kind of a culture is that done? Us. That we literally take the nutrition out of something, then say to somebody who has more money than they know what to do with, we'll give you money to put the nutrition back into it. Isn't that smart? Yeah, terrific. And then we all sit back with our clickers saying, well, I'm getting nutrition, look at the candy bar. Right? And look at most health foods. They're just sustaining addiction. That's all. They still have the high sugar, the high fat content in it. Most people are not really trying to be healthy. They're just trying to make believe they're healthy. Do you follow that? Very few people have the courage to stand up and be complete today. Because it takes changing not your diet, but changing your spiritual, emotional, and psychological mentality. And so most of us are willing to go to the health stores and do little token things. Well, you know, I don't eat anything but organic potato chips. Oh, the soda I drink, that's organic soda. When are you going to change? Well, I've changed. It's cost me a lot more money to take this organic stuff here. Sounds familiar to you? I really got it when I looked recently at an organic dinner, a frozen dinner. They showed on the back how to microwave it. That's really a smart idea there. Brilliant. Maybe I should get 3 of them, give them to my children. We've got to laugh because we're so dumb, isn't it? I mean, when you see how dumb I am and you are, sometimes you say, my God, how are we surviving? How are we walking straight and breathing? How do we actually have a home we can pay for? It's like amazing to me. 100 years ago, they didn't have any of those questions. They knew how they did it. They got up and worked hard and loved hard, and lived in nature. And today, the new diseases. What are the new diseases all about? Nobody seems to know. They need more research money to discover. Well, you can just come to me. Dry up the research money. It's chemicals. This incredible planet that we were handed, we have made a cesspool. The scary part of it, it's an invisible cesspool. So when our children are getting autism and our elders are getting, not even elders anymore, younger and older, getting Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis and ALS and Alzheimer's disease. We know, this is not, we maybe know, scientifically we know and have validated in the legitimate studies, these are all heavy metal and chemical toxins in the body. I've watched the skyrocketing amount of cancer with young people. You know, the last 2 weeks, Anna Marie and I have gone home and cried a little bit every night and talk about these kids. We just had a 15-year-old boy I met a month ago when I was in Montreal. This kid's a beautiful 15-year-old kid. He was an athlete, playing soccer every day. Great at what he did. Gee, he started to not be able to breathe about April of this year. His loving mother and father, great loving mother and father, bring him into the doctors, great hospital, the McGill Hospital. And they say, your son has a very rare form of cancer of the heart. I've seen 3 cases in 40 years. That's a very rare. A 15-year-old boy, never. And what did you drink? Oh, Gatorade. That's what my coach told me I needed to drink, Gatorade. So we looked at his x-rays, and of course on my staff I have a radiological oncologist too, and he looked at it and said, oh my God, this is bad. He said, the first one, it's double the second one. And it's gone up another 30% the third scan. His heart's literally going to implode. He's going to die. And so I said, I can't let this happen. I got the family on the phone. I said, get him in a car, you can't fly him, and drive him down. And he spent 3 weeks with us, and he just left this Tuesday. And he was walking and talking about going back to school and getting his driver's license. What kind of a world are we? You know what the doctor said? We're going to give you chemotherapy, but it's going to get worse and he's going to die. Now, I'm not going to say this kid's not going to die because he has a really serious disease, but I can tell you, he doesn't have to die. And he said to my wife on Tuesday, when she saw him, can't we just go and get chicken one last time? And we said, you know, you got to get this. I know you're only 15, and at 15 all I thought about was girls, not dying. And I said, listen, you've got to take responsibility. You're given a burden that most older women and men in our entire life never have that burden. And you've got to match that burden. You've got to stand up and realize that you're being given a challenge so you become a stronger person. This isn't you're being afflicted by a disease and why me. This is about you've been given an opportunity to become complete. We have a 2-year-old baby, most beautiful baby, honest to God. This baby could literally be on television, in advertisements. Beautiful, shiny eyes, rosy cheeks, dark hair, 2 years old. Catastrophic brain cancer. Catastrophic. Came to us from Washington State. This Sunday, we have a 14-year-old boy that's coming from California, dying with stage 4 advanced cancer. The mother said to me the other night, the doctors told me that he has 7 days to live. And we sit back and we think this is normal.